Hey guys. So I was going to talk about something totally different, but the Lord really spoke to me in my quiet time, so I wanted to share about that. In verse 37, we're going to start with in Mark 4. So before this, they are crossing the Sea of Galilee, and then there's a storm. It says, a furious squall came up, and the waves broke over the boat, so that it was nearly swamped. Jesus was in the stern, sleeping on a cushion. The disciples woke him and said to him, "Teacher, don't you care if we drown?" He got up, rebuked the wind, and said to the waves, "Quiet, be still." Then the wind died down, and it was completely calm. He said to his disciples, "Why are you so afraid? Do you still have no faith?" They were terrified and asked each other, "Who is this? Even the wind and the waves obey him." And so, wow. It's such a good reminder to realize that our God is the God that the wind and the waves obey. And I think in reading this, the Lord was sort of highlighting how, like, the disciples in their situation, which was very scary, honestly, like, water was coming into the boat. It looked like maybe they could sink. But in that, they ran to Jesus, which is great. But what they said was, "Teacher, don't you care if we drown?" Almost accusing him, like, basically, like, you don't care about us because you're sleeping when we're going to drown. You don't care. And so I think that is where they were looking at their circumstances and seeing him sort of be inactive, seemingly inactive in that situation, that they were like, you don't care. But had they known who they were with, they would be able to sleep in peace too, you know? And so I think God was just trying to remind me, like, don't let the circumstances that we are in start to dictate how we view and see God, and to remember who he is, and Jesus, how he responded. Like, he could honestly just said, like, don't you have any faith, and went back to bed. But he didn't. He got up, he rebuked the wind and the waves for them, and then he said, "Why are you so afraid? Do you still have no faith?" And just seeing that God, like, he's just so gracious, he's patient with us, he meets our needs. And so even in that, he was still gracious to calm the wind and the waves and reveal his glory and who he is and his power, And so, I think we get to see this because we have God's word. We can know, and we can look at the past things in our lives and know that God has been faithful. And so in these times where it looks like we are going to sink, I pray that we can sleep like Jesus did, or have peace and not worry, being like, okay, wow, I am in a really tough situation, and you know what? If it's God's will, maybe this boat will sink. But I have a God who can walk on water. I have a God that the wind and waves obey. So whom shall I fear? And I know that's easier said than done, but I really pray that we do, look at this story and hold on to it as something that will encourage us in the hard times. I know I need to. And so I just wanted to use that as an encouragement to you guys. Okay, bye.